Good claps all around. Welcome to episode number 1 of World of Warcraft. Episode number 1 of World of Warcraft. Looking at the channel, I made like 10 episodes of World of Warcraft. Why is this episode 1 of World of Warcraft? Well, it's classic anniversary. If you watched the last Turtle World of Warcraft episode, which releases on Thursday, this will release on Thursday too, you will know that the entire last episode was spent me contemplating if I should restart World of Warcraft on the official regular servers, on the classic anniversary servers. Because in winter of 2025 or spring of 2026, so coming 6 to 9 months, the Burning Crusade anniversary will release. And I love Burning Crusade like nothing else. I want to play Burning Crusade. I've missed the last Burning Crusade. I am definitely not missing that one, and I'm contemplating life in universe and everything. That is very much true. And I told you guys in the last episode that I would be restarting my characters as they existed back then. Meet Windy, my very first character I ever did in World of Warcraft. Same eye colors, same everything, same hairstyle, everything. Meet Windy, the Gnomon mage. There's just one thing that Windy has, and that's an apostrophe above the eye. The regular Windy wasn't available, so we have an apostrophe over the eye. Then we have Hanazaki. Well, this guy had a different name, but the name is so cringy that I'm not gonna use it. I'm gonna use my name for him. This one will become our secondary character in Classic and in the Burning Crusade. And I already saved my name of Chidorí. This is just a placeholder for when the Burning Crusade happens, and we will do a Draenei Enhancement Shaman, which will receive this name. So I have pretty much saved everything that I can save, and I talked at length about the add-on situation of World of Warcraft, and I unfortunately faltered, and as you can see, the armor is gone over the stream because I basically redid the entire inventory user interface, and I basically did everything from scratch. This is based on Elf UI, but I basically took like 2 hours and configured it, and this is how we are going. So the big two things are Elf UI and Titan panel up on top, so we have a lot of information on top. This is what we have now. We have no gameplay changes whatsoever. We have no easier makings of any add-on of some sort, and I already did a little bit of gold, so we have 75 silver. I'm only level 10 though, so yeah, let's keep on playing. What is this? This goal is basically a new start because we are doing everything in preparation for the Burning Crusade so that we can support a new character, level her up as best as we can, provide her with gear, provide her with mounts, provide her with materials for a job. So this is basically our preparation for the next 6 to 9 months. We'll take it really chill and just play like 2-3 days a week and level up everything that we can, prepare everything that we can, and grind everything that we can. You might notice a few things. The font completely changed. All the fonts are completely changed on the game. Yeah, my name does not translate well. This is something that I still have to figure out. I font changed the entire game. If you look at my World of Warcraft thumbnails, there is a World of Warcraft font used in those thumbnails. I have used the World of Warcraft font in every single possible situation in this game, so that we have more World of Warcraft in every World of Warcraft, which means every single mouse over, every single name, every single thing that I could manage to change, I changed to a World of Warcraft font. I haven't changed everything because some options I haven't found yet. So I still need to figure out a few things, like the secondary inventory, the loot fenster, the German came out, the loot window. When I loot something, this has still not changed. I haven't found a way to change it. However, most of the things are World of Warcraft font. The quest log is not yet a World of Warcraft font either. I can't find the quest settings. If I go into Elf UI, there is no real quest option menu here, so I have no real idea how to do it. If I type in quest into the search bar, nothing really happens. There is hide quests and arrow text, and there's quests. However, here I can't really do anything with the quest. It's only hide quest progress. That's the only thing. So I haven't figured out how to change the quest window. I might need a different add-on for this. But yeah, this is basically me just playing World of Warcraft, having a good time. This is not hardcore or anything. This is just me playing the game and having a good time for like 2 hours. And I hope you enjoy. We sometimes talk about a few things. We sometimes have topics we can talk about. We talked at length about what we're going to do with the preparation. However, as you can see, everything here is like World of Warcraft fonted. So yeah, we talked about length of what we plan to do. So let's talk a little bit about what's the plan for this mage. This mage is a true recreation of the Windy that we played before, so he will have herbalism and he will have tailoring. The original Windy, however, had enchantment as well, but that's on a third job when I delete my herbalism. I don't know if we will delete herbalism, but you know, we'll just try and see. We'll play a frost mage because that's the only viable option really in leveling in World of Warcraft in the classic area. In Turtle, it was definitely a different situation. In Turtle, you could level at every single spec with every single class. The true classic experience, which is this, has a little bit of limitations. Some specializations are just not as good in this game. That's just how it is. But we're playing the classic, that is Frost Mage. We currently are still mixing Fire and Frost because we're at the beginning. We're literally just level 10. We're just level 10, so we're still mixing. Around level 20 we will no longer be mixing. We will do pure Frost, and that's just about it. Yeah, the talent tree, of course, is the sad talent tree. It's not the amazing talent tree of Turtle World of Warcraft, which kind of sucks. Turtle World of Warcraft had such a better talent tree. This unfortunately does not. The real good stuff happens when we are in pre-patch, when the Burning Crusade talents are coming in. So this is where the really good stuff happens. For now, we're basically playing classic as it was in 2004, or rather, they're doing a staged patch. So we're currently in season 4 of the patching circle out of, I believe, 7 seasons, and that would mean we are somewhat in around late 2005 at the current situation. The technical aspect of World of Warcraft, of course, improved like crazy. We're running at a smooth, ultra-wide 100 FPS. We pretty much cranked everything to the maximum. While this game really runs on a potato at this point, it just runs smoothly. It has high refresh support. It's really nice to use. That is definitely a leg up of the Turtle World of Warcraft. The technical aspect of this client is much more improved because the code has modernization of the last 20 years on it. So of course it will run better. But yeah, this is basically the interface that I made. It's Elf UI based. Again, the I with the apostrophe above it does not compute, so I kind of need to find a new font for that, but it's whatever at the end of the day. At the end of the day, nobody really cares about that. So yeah, I think we need to go inside here. Yep, we need to go inside here, and there is our mage quest, the Mage-tastic Gizmonitor. And there we have it. And if I can show it, the loot window is still not what I want it to be. I also haven't found the option to adjust the loot window. If I look in this loot window does not have the font, has not the right size, and is overall really small. You might have noticed as well that the minimap is not really high resolution. I had to zoom in the minimap like 200% and then scale it up, because the gathering nodes of the herbs was tiny, was like 2 millimeters wide, and I couldn't see anything. So I scaled the map down and then I scaled it back up to improve the button size of all of the herbs on the minimap. That kind of ruined the resolution of the minimap, but I haven't found a different solution so far. This is based on Elf UI. I usually do my own user interfaces. I usually do that. However, if I build my own user interface, this casually takes like 6 to 8 hours usually. Because I do use like Bartender and then Pitbull and like Omni CC, and it's like really long. It's really long process and it's really terrible. So I just like downloaded LVUI and just made my own version of LVUI. I transferred this UI to my other characters as well, so I figured out the way to transfer this UI to you if you so wish to play with this user interface. Please keep in mind this is a 21:9 user interface. This will only work on 21:9. However, I have a 16:9 monitor over there, so I could easily make an interface to manage that as well. So we have done our mage quest. Let's return home and we'll quest somewhere we have not really quested before. I think we're gonna do the unconventional way and we're going into Loch Modan. We haven't leveled Loch Modan in all of the streams on World of Warcraft in the last like 10 episodes before. So let's do Loch Modan, because I really haven't leveled in Loch Modan in like forever. So let's do Loch Modan. We have how many quests in Loch Modan? We have like, well, I don't know, we have like 5-6 quests in Loch Modan that we are actually concurrently doing. So that's pretty cool. So we'll do that. Oh, and if you want to play with me, this is the Thunderstrike server. So if you want to hang out, if you want to do like dungeons and all of that stuff, please do hit me up. Then we can play a little bit of co-oping together, because this is an MMO after all. And you should definitely play with others. You technically can play this game alone, but only up to a certain point really. Especially after reaching level 60, the maximum level of this expansion, or not expansion, of the base game. You technically have reached the limit of solo play. There are enough quests in the game that you will definitely get to level 60. There is a little bit of grinding involved, sure, but that's just what an MMO is. It is designed to literally siphon as much time as it can from you, so you spend the most amount of time in it and you don't do anything else, and it totally absorbs your life and you have to grind. That's what they're basically designed to do, because MMOs did this very smart thing called a sunk cost fallacy. Sunk cost fallacy is a quite widely used system in the video game world. It's usually used with a currency disassociation in combination. This game does not have currency disassociation, it only has a sunk cost fallacy. But what does it do with a sunk cost fallacy? Well, you're literally buying time in this game. So you spend 13, 14, 15 euros of money to be able to play 30 days. So you want to get as much time out of that 30 days as possible. So you have the sunk cost, which is the subscription service, and the fallacy is that it tricks you into spending more time in it. But by sinking more time in it, you have a investment in it. So it's another sunk cost. So you invest time, then you have invested time, so you keep paying, you invest time, you keep paying, you invest time. It's a very, very smart thing that MMOs did, and free-to-play games basically took this concept and added currency disassociation on top of it. What is currency disassociation? It's something that I hate, and I am doing, and I am programming, not programming, but I'm designing a video game that is free to play, that will use sunk cost fallacy, that will use currency disassociation. I hate to do it, but it works. That's the unfortunate truth. It works. What is currency disassociation? 10 euros is 10 euros. Is that correct? Yes. 10 euros is 10 euros. But is 10 euros 1,000 crystals? Yes, only because if you look at it, but 1,000 crystals is 1,000 crystals and has nothing to do with 10 euros. So, because you have a digital currency that does not translate into real world money, you disassociate real world money from it, and that means you have currency disassociation. Now, why is this combined with a sunk cost fallacy? Here's the extreme tricky thing that video games do to trick you into spending more money. Let's say you buy, and I'm sure you have seen this before, and I will just explain it to you in plain text. Let's say you have just like pay 10 euros, you got 10, let's say 1,000 crystals. You have 10 euros, you got 1,000 crystals. But the thing you want to buy costs 550 crystals. That means you have 450 crystals over. So to buy the next thing that is 550 crystals, that means you need 100 crystal, 1 euro to obtain the new item. But the game does not let you do this. It doesn't let you pay 1 euro to get more crystals. No. It only lets you pay 5 euros to pay more crystals. So you buy 500 crystals, which means you now have 950 crystals. Then you pay another 550 crystals. Now you have 300 crystals left. Oh, so if I just spend another 5 euros, I still have a few more crystals. Then I can buy this for 750 crystals. Now I have 50 crystals over. But the new thing, well, it costs 1,050 crystals. So if I pay another 10 euros, I now have 1,050 crystals. Oh no, they did a bonus deal. Instead of me getting 1,000 crystals for 10 euros, I'm now getting 1,100 crystals for 10 euros. So that means I now have 100 crystals over. And it goes again and again and again and again and again and again. And that's the sunk cost fallacy with currency disassociation. And this is what nearly all free-to-play games do. And I hate to say it, but I will do the exact same thing because it makes money. I will be very straightforward with that. Like, I am literally manipulating you to spend more money. I am literally manipulating you to spend more money, but that's the only way it truly works. You can just pay with money. However, the big problem is it just simply doesn't produce as much revenue as a currency dissociation does, because you cannot legally, and that's the big problem in Europe, you cannot legally have an in-game money balance that is translated to a real world currency, because that would mean it's a credit, and you can't have a credit. That's illegal. Or rather, it's not illegal, but it's a whole bunch of trouble. It's a whole bunch of trouble. So, to avoid that, we're not giving you 3 euros of credit. No, we're giving you 300 crystals of credit. So, to just avoid the absolute ever-living kerfuffle that is the law, which is the whole big deal, the law, we simply will give you a disassociated currency so that you don't have credit, you have in-game tokens, because that's what it is. It's an in-game token. And since you can hold tokens without any regulation by the law, they are not giving you money, they're giving you tokens to spend. And this is how they manipulate you to spend more money, keep more money, and just keep renewing your in-game currency. And it really, really, really sucks. I hate to do it, but that's the reality of it. That's just the reality of it. I wish it was different. I truly am. I truly wish it was different, but it's not. It really is not different. It is not different. Not really. Tessalama, where is Tessalama? Oh yeah, right. We need to do a few flying things. We have a little bit of downtime. You know what I mean? No, we're not checking Melbourne really quickly. Let's go here. Let's get over to Loch Moran and have a little travel quest. So yeah, this is how they do it, and World of Warcraft does it as well. Because there's something called a WoW token. A WoW token is worth 30 in-game days of playtime. So you could technically farm gold to equal paytime. However, paytime is currency. Paytime is like 15 euros, correct? But it's a token in-game. So you don't have 15 euros of credit in World of Warcraft. You have 15 euros worth of token in World of Warcraft. And this token is now equal to gold. So you now have 15 euros that is in form of a token. So it is a currency disassociation. And you have gold, and you don't ever have the exact same amount of gold. You have more or less gold. You have a sunk cost fallacy. It's everywhere. This system is everywhere. Every single game that is online in some form uses this. Hi, Sarika, welcome to episode number 1 again of World of Warcraft Classic Anniversary. So every single game uses this system of sunk cost fallacy. Okay. Next game. Big game. Big game. Final Fantasy XIV. Final Fantasy XIV gives you the option to buy stuff with real money, like a subscription. However, they also give you the option to buy Krista. Krista equals 100 Krista to 1 euro. It's the exact example I just gave. So, by buying Krista, you give them money, you receive token, and then you can spend token on things that require token, but the cost of token and the cost of item do not match. So you always have token left over. Oh, I have token left over. Let's just load up more tokens to buy more things. Oh, now I have tokens left over. Let's buy more tokens, buy some things. It's the exact same system everywhere. League of Legends does it. Hearthstone does it. What are the other big games? Dota does it. Every single game does it. I believe Dota doesn't do it because it's Valve and Valve uses its own system, but Valve is a whole another bag with the Steam market. The Steam market is a whole another bag of, oh my god, it's genius, it's manipulation left and right, but it's freaking genius. But that's how they do it. And that's the unfortunate truth of my card game that will definitely, unfortunately, definitely feature all of the sunk cost fallacy, currency disassociation. The only thing we're not doing in my video game is FOMO. We're never gonna do FOMO. You can nail it, you can nail me to a wall. We will not do FOMO in our video game. All the entire team despises FOMO. We understand that it has an incredible value when it comes to selling things. If you offer FOMO, you sell more things. But this is something I am vehemently against. What is FOMO? FOMO is fear of missing out. Yes, you can really nail me to a wall. If I do FOMO, that is. FOMO is fear of missing out. It's a concept that I will offer you something, and this something is only available for a limited amount of time. And if you don't buy what I'm offering you in this limited amount of time, I'm taking it away from you forever, or only when I want it to reappear again. So, by doing something, in many cases it's a visual thing, but sometimes it's actually gameplay relevant. If I offer something of value, and then I say to you, but it's only available for a limited amount of time, you get panic, and you do panic buy because you activate the feeling of FOMO, the fear of missing out. And by activating the FOMO, I get you to spend more money. I severely hate this concept. And everybody on the team severely hates this concept. We have talked about it in the team quite extensively, and we came to the conclusion we could earn a lot of money by doing that. We're not doing it because FOMO is amongst the most scummy things you can do when it comes to manipulating a customer base. Let's be real. The manipulation of customers happens all the time. This is not something that is particularly evil or good in its core, but customer manipulation happens everywhere. A really good example, and this is just a random example now, once I fought the enemy, once I fought the second enemy, there is a really simple manipulation that happens in our everyday world. I didn't think it was true, but it's actually true. Let me just fight these guys really quickly and then show you the very simple manipulation of customers. And let's get this looted as well. Let's get onto the Griffin, and then we have a little bit of downtime. Let's see, let's get this over here, and let's get onto the Griffin, because we need to ride to Ironforge. This thing right here. This thing right here is a plastic bag or a plastic container for sweets, for some mini pretzels. This package has been engineered to produce a very specific sound, and this very specific sound is basically market manipulation for you to know that this is a sweet. You will not see it in a paper bag or anything like it. Most sweets have some form of plastic bag associated to it. And this is a real thing. This is a highly engineered product to manipulate you into buying more sweets, because if you hear that sound, you associate that sound with crunchy things, with sweets, with snacks, and that is basically part of the process of you buying and eating more snacks. I didn't think it was true, but it actually is. There are multiple documentaries on YouTube and everything everywhere else where they specifically talk about the sound. Okay, I'm trying to do a card game, right? And I've done some market research, as someone does who tries to make a card game. So I've done a lot of market research, and turns out I wanted to do a good thing. I wanted to have the packages of the card booster packs. I wanted it to be economic friendly. I wanted it to be a paper packing, and I wanted to be very eco-friendly, like brown paper, like not a lot of paint, like really eco-friendly. I was pretty much lynched. I was almost lynched that I took away the crackly sound of opening the pack. So, just by my own market research, people actually want the crackly sound of a card booster pack opening, because that for them is part of the experience of the process of playing a physical card game. So I want to do a good thing, but the market says no. I will sell less things if I do the good thing. It's fascinating to me. It's absolutely fascinating to me that I am not allowed to do a good thing because customers demand. That's at the end of the day, that's really what matters. Customers demand the sound of the plastic because it's part of the experience. And as someone who doesn't really buy boosters, I'm just an online player, right? So I never really got into the booster game. I was very surprised by this. I was very surprised by this. But if I think about it, it makes a lot of sense. It truly makes a lot of sense that this is part of the experience, because to card players or to card collectors, because there's multiple types of people. There are people who play cards, there are people who collect cards, and there's people who trade cards. These three things are main pillars of card games. You have those players who per fun or competitively play the card game, and they buy cards to build out their decks, to have variety available, to have the best deck available. You have those kinds of players. You have the casuals who buy cards because they like the artwork, they like how the system plays, they like the play style of this specific deck. Okay, then you have the collectors, because card games inherently are manipulative when it comes to the collecting spirit of humans, because humans like to collect things. If we see something collectible and that goes from 1 to 20, we want to fill as many slots as possible, possibly all of them. So you have the collectors who buy a lot of things just to collect things, to finish up the collection, have all, I don't know, 500 cards of release X, Y, and Z. So you have the collectors, and then you have the traders. And the traders most likely do not open the boosters. The traders are very smart market analysts, and they buy low and sell high. Don't know how they do it. They're kind of genius, but that's also what they do. And all of these people are manipulated in some way, or manipulate in some way. The first two pillars are very much manipulated by the entire process. The third and first pillar are manipulated by the buying and selling process of cards. So manipulation of cards, of players, happens all the time, really. So it's not really that surprising, let's be honest. it's very bad if you just say it like that and you lay it out for everybody to understand. So people usually like silence this part. People usually don't talk about this part aloud. But this is what happens. And I never thought 3 years ago that I would have this knowledge. 3 years ago, I decided to make a video game. To make a game, and then it turned into a video game. And I never really thought that I would ever need this, this knowledge that I have now. But now that I have this knowledge, I kind of look at games a little bit differently. Because I can now recognize the signs of being manipulated. Which is really fun. If you like play a video game, and then you like sit back and you're like, they're trying to manipulate me into selling things, into buying things. That's interesting. I never realized this before, but I am only doing this because I already invested into the game, and then the wheels start turning. And then the wheels start turning. And then you get angry at video games because they manipulated you all your life and you didn't recognize it. And oh my god. There is absolute bliss in ignorance. If you are someone who doesn't watch anything on the internet, if you're someone who doesn't inform themselves, just plays video games and doesn't give a hoo-ha about the latest trends and the latest controversies and just doesn't listen to any of this, you have no idea that you are being manipulated, but you don't have the stress associated of being manipulated. It's quite funny. It's quite funny that you know, like, don't recognize these things. It's interesting. And as someone who actively knows about these things now, it's interesting. I don't know if it's still on YouTube, and I don't even know the title very well, so I do apologize. But there is a video on YouTube which is basically like a TED Talk. It's basically like a TED Talk. Oh, that's a poll? Is that a poll? Is that a poll? That's a poll. Okay, we're running. There is something like a TED Talk. It's basically a business meeting of all of the high-ranking personnel in free-to-play games, in game design, etc. Like CEOs and all of that stuff, where they discuss ways of getting more money out of people. And it's a disgusting hour. It goes for like an hour, and they talk in depth on how to manipulate and exploit people without any scrutiny. Like, if you lose your house to pay 500 for this virtual card game, they will take your money. And if that means losing your house, they don't care. Because it was your choice to spend the money, but they tried to manipulate you into doing it. And it's like, it's this very uncanny hour of just this business hoo-ha and blah blah. And then you realize, oh my god, it actually works. Like, what we all heard about stories of someone spending thousands and thousands and thousands upon euro on a video game, and then they got into debt and all of that stuff. Like, these people cannot control their own money. That is why they do this. Most whales are not rich. Most whales is the word for people who spend a lot of money and are the primary spenders of a game. Let it be a free-to-play game. And these are called whales. And these whales are usually people who do not have control over their finances. And they willfully exploit those people to the very, very, very end. And you're sitting there in disbelief, hearing them talk about it, and then you realize everything they're saying, you know this. Oh my god, holy crap, oh my god. Yeah, we're dead. There we go, we're dead. That was a lot of damage. What? That was a lot of DPS, holy crap. You realize that all of these things they talk about, it works. But I came to the realization that what they say works, that I now know what not to do to be not a disgusting developer of a video game. Because what they do is disgusting. As a result of this giant meeting, a few years later, a patent appeared. And I believe this patent was from Activision. It could have been Electronic Arts or Ubisoft. I believe this patent was from Activision. Basically, in my opinion, this is the most brutal patent when it comes to market manipulation. Let's say a video game that is a shooter. Let's say a shooter of Activision. A shooter of Activision has microtransactions in it and weapon skins. Okay, so we have microtransactions and we have weapon skins in a video game. Good. Here's what the patent does. The patent puts players without skins against players with skins, and if you're killed by the player with the skin, a kill feed will show up that you got killed by this gun with this skin, and there is a buy button below that. So they're telling you, you can have this cool weapon as well, just click buy. And they purposefully pin people who don't have skins against people who have skins, and they will definitely get defeated by them so that they can see those skins and buy those skins. It's disgusting. What a disgusting tactic that is to manipulate someone into buying things. So a purposefully weaker player gets pitted against a purposefully stronger player who has spent more money at a video game to get them to spend more money themselves. Oh, what a brutal pattern that is. And this pattern exists. This is not a joke. This pattern absolutely exists. We will not do that. We will absolutely... The enemy is resisting everything. I don't have mana left. Oh my god. Can you stop resisting everything? That would be nice. Come on, give me some mana. I am dying. Come on, give me some mana. I'm dying. Thank you. That's not good. Thank you. So yeah, there are many ways of manipulating players. Pitting free-to-play players against pay-to-play players is a very common tactic these days. I hate it, I don't like it, but it happens, and we're not doing it. 100% we're not doing it. Lochmodan really hurts, what the hell? The enemies really do hurt. So yeah, there are very evil... There are very evil manipulations in video games, and well, I am trying to not do the horrible ones. Let's just put it that way. I'm trying to not do the horrible ones on my card game. We'll do market manipulation, but we will be very upfront about it, and we will make it not sucky. That I can promise. It will not be sucky, but at the end of the day, we still have to earn money. But it will hopefully not be sucky. That's a big promise. That's a very, very, very big promise. And I will definitely get lynched by at least 2 people in the company if I do this. There is someone in the team that absolutely hates microtransactions. The unfortunate truth is he realizes that microtransactions are unfortunately a necessary evil and we have to do it. Otherwise we're not making any money. It's the very sad, unfortunate truth of a free-to-play genre, but there is a principle that I pretty much live by. A free-to-play game can have microtransactions. A pay-to-play game can never have microtransactions. That's the rule that I have been playing with, that I've been judging by, and for now it has worked quite well. If a game is buy to play, if you have to buy the game to play it, there can never be microtransactions. If it's a free-to-play game, it's fair game. They have to make money somehow, and yeah, that's okay. Everything else is not. And man, these enemies hurt. These enemies hurt badly. Really, really, really badly. Lokmodan is pretty dangerous for mages, gotta say. This will not kill him, but we can regenerate a little bit of mana. This will not kill him though. 6 life still. Oh my god, can you stop walking so far away? That would be nice. Can we loot the chest without being pulled? No, because we're in fight. Did we pull? We did not pull. Let's kill this guy. Let's get the chest. Let's see if we can get an item. I've looked at the economy of the server. Speaking of money, right? I've looked at the economy of the server. Seems like green items are really worth a lot of money on this server, which is quite the opposite to Total World of Warcraft. In Total World of Warcraft, good luck making money. It's absolutely impossible. Selling green items on this server seems to be quite well. There seems to be quite the high price tag for everything, which means that we will never ever be able to afford any gear, but we will be able to make a little bit of money if we just sell everything. So yeah, if you have a World of Warcraft font, if you listen to this on YouTube, and you have a World of Warcraft font that can have apostrophes, like little accents on an I or a U or something like that, please, I need that font. Because if you look at the at the target bar, there is a win squarendy. It's a win squarendy. That's not my name. And I'm not a ting, so that's not my name. But yeah, I kind of like a World of Warcraft font that can have accents. That would look really nice. Other than that, let's talk a little bit about the interface. It's based on Elf UI. We have a Titan bar on top. We have used the font Lifecraft for this. This is the font Lifecraft. And we have mix scrolling combat text. You have seen the numbers pop up if we are in combat. That's mix scrolling combat text, or MSBT. And other than that, we haven't really installed anything else. We have Questy, of course, to enable a little bit of an easier questing time. Other than that, this is very much stock, not very stock interface. It's anything but stock interface, but this is what we have configured so far. And I hope you're having a lovely day. I wish we could have some music in stream, but we can't. Because the game, YouTube, the Twitch game, really does not like having music in it. However, speaking of MSBT, there's something that I need to adjust. Let's go into the scroll area. Let's put this scrolling area just a little bit more to the right, because I have seen that it's not really centered and it needs to be centered. So let's look at incoming damage now, if it's now centered. This is pretty much centered. It's not perfect. This is also still not perfect, so we still need to adjust this and adjust this. We'll adjust this about 5 pixels to the right, and this about 5 pixels, 10 pixels to the right as well. So let's go back into MSBT, go into the scrolling area. We get this to like 240, and we get this to like minus 335. And let's see if the scrolling areas are now correct. This looks... is it good? I don't know, I can't tell really. And this is now not aligned anymore. God damn it. It's not aligned anymore. Oh well. Let's head back into MSBT. Let's get this scrolling area back on 245 minus, and let's continue. So let's look at the quests. We still have 5 trogs to kill, we still have 4 teeth to gain, and how many other quests do we have here? Do we have a pickup quest here? We certainly do not currently. There's no pickup quest over here. There is a rare spawn down here which we could try to kill. And maybe this rare has a green item for us, which we could sell for a little bit of money. This is probably the money stream. We have talked a lot about monetization so far. Let's go ahead and go south, and maybe we can see and find our dear rare if he spawns. And we ran into fire. I know someone who likes fire and burns themselves to death, so hello there. Hello there. And yeah, there is a silver leaf. I would like to get that, but I want to go and visit the rare. However, there are these mages over here. There are these mages, and these mages hurt like ever living hell crazy. Oh my god. Oh my... We're dead. We're dead. Oh my god, these mages. Oh. No, just others, and specifically bed. So this is where you put your candles. You make fire play in bed. I see. Oh my god, these mages hurt. They make a 50 damage shot. Yeah, I'm not surviving that with my... How many HP do I have? How many HP do I have? I can't even see my HP, but man, I got grilled by those casters. Holy hell. Yeah, if this was a hardcore character, we died twice today. The character had a few close calls. It had a few like 2-3 HP survivals. So it had a few close calls, but the first 2 deaths, well, of course they're on camera, because this is what always happens. Every single time I stream, I die way more than I would if I would play solo. Now, I have no idea why that is. Am I pushing too hard? Is that what it is? And if I'm not streaming, am I more relaxed? I've actually no idea. Man, these casters are nasty. They are level 13. I can't get in there. Absolutely impossible. Yeah, I can't get in there. Absolutely impossible. If I were a hunter, maybe. But mage in solo content is very, very weak at the beginning. Until I get the tools, of course. We have 3 males. 1 linen cloth. And we have a regular male. Okay. This is quite nice. On Titan panel, you can see what you have in male. This is pretty cool. Well, you can't see because my camera is over it. You can't see because the camera is over it, but I can see. Alrighty. Let's continue. We still need to kill 1 of these trogs. And then we need to kill 2 more scouts. However, we need 3 more teeth as well. Teeth. There we go. So we still need at least 3 more kills because we need 3 more teeth. And I pulled without any mana because I'm a hero. I'm a hero and I pulled without mana because I have been playing Hunter for way too long where you never ever have to rest for mana ever again. So Hana, why didn't you start a Hunter then? Well, I told you guys before that I would recreate my original characters, which I did. And it's a mage. And there is a lot of downtime playing a mage. A lot of it actually, because every single time you have to drink. Well, you can conjure food and water, but there's still downtime. There's still downtime. Alright. So we need another scout. There's our last scout over there. This is our last scout. And as you can see, everything is like in the Livecraft font. So I try to World of Warcraft this game as much as I can. And technically it's more World of Warcraft than World of Warcraft itself, because all of the font is actually like the World of Warcraft font now. So it's basically more World of Warcraft than the original interface ever was. Kinda. Oh, we got milk. We got milk. We got a little bit more cloth. I pulled something. Oh, hi. Up there. We still need 3 tooth. So we still have to kill 3 enemies. And I'm fairly certain that I will pull if I take this one. Can we go up there? We cannot. So we have to go around here. So there's most likely a trog over there. Yep, there's a trog over there. We don't have any conjured food. So we need to conjure some food. Let's regenerate. The key bindings are pretty much the same that I use in Final Fantasy XIV. You see a very odd placement of buttons on the bar down there. It's not really grouped right. This has to do with the very specific key combination and hotkey setup that I have. Basically, what I did, I gridded every single button that I can. Grid is the meaning or description. It's the description of using Q to T and Y to B. So, because I really don't like spreading out the thumb, I really hate the movement of this, and I hate the movement of using the pinky finger. So these 2 fingers in my hotkey setup don't get used much. This thumb gets used for 2 things. It gets used for the Alt key and for the space key. So this thumb does nothing but Alt and space key. The little pinky is never used in my setup. And what I basically did, I basically multi-hotkeyed Q, W, E, R, A, S, D, F, Y, X, and Z, and V. And it's 12 buttons, but these 12 buttons have 3 hotkeys associated to them at all times. So I have 36 available buttons. And I knew I was going to pull. This sucks. Let's run away. I have nice life. Currently, I have nice life. So basically, I use 12 buttons on the keyboard and the number row 1 to 4. So I use about 16 buttons on the keyboard, but in reality, I am using roughly 40 to 45 keys on the keyboard, because every single button on my hotkey setup is basically tripled. And I could activate the camera, but there is a camera right here that I have not yet set up, so I can't really show you my key setup currently. I'll try to set it up for the next World of Warcraft stream, which will most likely be on Friday, because tomorrow we're gonna do RimWorld, And on Thursday, we might do Pokemon. I'm not so sure yet, but on Thursday, we might do Pokemon. But on Friday will definitely be another World of Warcraft stream, and I'll try to get the hotkey camera set up so you can see what actually happens on the keyboard, which I think is sometimes really fun to look at if you can actually see the hotkey setup. In Final Fantasy, in Final Fantasy, it usually looked like I was dancing across the keyboard with my hand, because it was really funny to look at that if I like move my hands and move down and then move up and move down again and then move this way and then go this, it looks very funny if you have like the keyboard setup the keyboard camera setup, because you can actually like see what happens on the keyboard. Now, World of Warcraft is a much less agile game than Final Fantasy is. Final Fantasy is a much more agile game on the keyboard. But you can still get a really nice feeling of what I'm doing if you have the camera set up. And I'll try to match it next episode.
Keep your feet on the ground.
Keep your feet on the ground. And let's continue with the quests. We are almost level 12, which means we are soon visiting our trainer. In World of Warcraft Classic, you need to visit your trainer every second level. Okay, we got the Trog Stake. The Trog Threat. Okay, the Trog Threat. I need this bigger. It's too small for me. I'm getting old. I need bigger text.
How are you?
I'm decent. So there we go. What else do I need to do? I need to basically come home and I need to go over here. So my next quests will be over there. I still have this quest, but it's level 15, which is way too high, and I cannot manage this. My level is way too low for that. So let's head up north. Let's head up north and do more things. However, we already have 21:15. So the episode will not go on for much longer, because I have a long day tomorrow. I have to wake up at 6, and so we will see each other at 20 o'clock, so I will probably have something like a 14-hour day tomorrow. Fun! Lots of fun! 14 hours of work! Yay! What do we do? What do we do for just a little bit of fun, right? 14-hour days. There might be a stream schedule update next month. I need to check in with my manager if I can shift my work times just a little bit so that we can have a little bit of a better stream time. We'll see about that. Can't promise anything, but if we can agree on something, we could pretty much return to the old streaming schedule of 20 to 23, 2022. So we can return to the old streaming schedule and not be absolutely destroyed at the end of the day. So that is definitely something I want to talk about. However, my manager will not be available for 4 weeks, because my manager became a dad once again. So he got his second child. He told us today. And he is going into Elternzeit in Germany, which is parental leave in English. So dude had a second child, so he's taking a parental leave. So really cool. Has a healthy little boy, and he's taking a little bit of time off, which that's totally fine, dude. That's totally fine if you want to like take time off because of a newborn. Hell yeah, do that. So yeah, there might be a streaming schedule adjustment. There might not be. Can't promise it, because I might not even see my manager for the next 4 weeks. So, and I can't just not show up. So, but yeah, I really hope to return to regular stream schedule once again, because that would mean that we would be able to stream 5 days a week once again. Currently, if you look at the last few weeks of streaming schedules, I haven't been very consistent, and I do apologize for that. But starting a new job kinda screwed me over with my schedule. Screwed me over actually kinda hard. So the new schedule is really terrible for my sleep and for my awareness, and it really hurts my sleep levels. So I do apologize for being quite inconsistent over the last few weeks, but that's just what happens when you have a new job, right? We had so many things planned for the stream and for the YouTube channel, like Findy Indie and all of these cool episodic formats that we had planned. Well, all of them basically fell into water because I took a new job, and the new job basically happened in like 3 weeks. Usually jobs take a longer time to come to fruition, but I sent the application. I got an invite a day later. I got a second interview 3 days later. And 3 days later, I was told I had the job. Let's go to HR and let's manage the transition. So in about a week, I had a new job, and then it took 2 weeks of finalizing the new job. And now I have a new job ever since the 1st of April. First I was like, is this an April's Fool's? This feels like an April's Fool's. This is way too quick to get a new job. And it was way too quick to get a new job because I was told this speed is not normal. That usually doesn't happen. So it sounded a little bit fishy. But it's real. It's real. I got paid, so it's real. But yeah, I kind of got a new job in like 3 weeks. This usually doesn't happen in a mega corporation of like thousands upon thousands upon thousands of employees. Usually that stuff is really slow because HR doesn't get into gear, and then you need some papers, and everything is slow, and everybody has to sign it, and like 5 departments have to look at it, and it kinda went like this. That was a good snap. It kinda went like this. So I was very surprised in me having a new job, honestly. I was very surprised in me getting a new job. So that kind of threw the whole YouTube and Twitch plan basically under the table. And I'm trying as best as I can. And, well, we're going overtime quite a few times. Because the original plan is for me to stream 90 minutes. Because I still have to do work after this. So I technically only want to stream like 90 minutes, and we are reaching the 90 minutes quite soon. But like the last episode of World of Warcraft that we did, we tend to go overtime all the time on this channel. I don't get a lot of sleep these days. Let's just call it that. I don't get a lot of sleep these days. My sleep is kinda... I call it disrespecting your sleep. And I am disrespecting my sleep quite a lot these days. So I'm curious how long this can go on before I get like kickback from my sleep schedule. And my sleep schedule goes like, nope, you're sick now. So I have no idea how long that will last. But I can feel the kick coming. I've been doing this now for 4 months. So I can feel the kick in the balls coming. Where the body goes like, you know what? You're sick now. And you better go to the doctor. And you better call in sick. And if I call in sick, of course we can't stream. I've called in sick, of course. But I've been working 12 to 14 hours for the better part of the last 3 years now. I can kind of feel it. Oh, you're stealing my herb, you bastard. I'm taking that herb. Ha! You're not stealing my herb, you bastard. I can kind of feel it. Like working like 6 days a week 10 to 14 hours each and every single day. It's kind of a lot. It's kind of a lot. It's not recommended. Not really recommended. But at the end of the day, A, I've been doing this voluntarily, and B, if I don't work, nothing will ever happen, right? So if I do work, well, we have a chance of making something happen. At the end of the day, everything in life is luck. I'm a firm believer that everything in life is luck. Me being here, you guys watching the stream, us being here at the same time, at the end of the day, is nothing but luck. I'm a firm believer in that. It has nothing to do with skill. It has nothing to do with being at the right place at the right time. It has everything to do with luck. So, what is hard work then? What is hard work? In my belief, hard work is just more chances at luck. And this is why we're doing this. To have more chances at luck. So, for those watching live on Twitch, thank you very much for being here. It's really, really appreciated. I really, really like it. I don't deserve anything. Everything is luck at the end of the day and hard work. And hard work is just more luck. So if you're watching this on YouTube, that's cool too. But if you want to come into the stream, if you want to have like a good laugh, if you want to become a Pokemon as you've seen down here on stream, please feel free to do so. You can give me tips. You can throw me a pun. You can throw me a dad joke. I don't like the dad jokes, so please have dad jokes ready. That's like an invitation, okay? So yeah, come on over, have a good time, relax, get yourself something to drink. If you want to get into home brewing, I can give you some tips, like making your own drinks and all of that stuff. Just have a good time, hang out, and play some World of Warcraft while we're at it, right? And let's destroy this one, because this one wants to run away, and it resisted twice! It resisted twice! What a bastard. And now we don't have mana. Now we don't have mana. What a bastard. Resisted twice. Let's run away. I kinda miss my pet from my hunter. Not gonna lie. I kinda miss the hunter pet. Will we die? Nah, we should be fine. Will we? Yeah, we should be fine. We should be fine. Yep, we're fine. So yeah, that's the big deal. Let's see. We soon have level up. I would very much like to have that level up because I need better skills. I think I will be getting a new fireball next level. I think it's about time I get a new fireball. That would be really, really cool. And I would probably also be getting new food as well, because once you conjure 14 of something, that means usually you get a new rank. And I have 12 now. 2 more on the next level, that's 14. Which means I should be able to get a new food type as well. Alright. Let's see, how many ears do we need? We still need quite a lot of these ears. And we should probably head our way home in 3 kills. It should be 3 kills. Let's see, it should be 3 kills. It is 3 kills, yes. Another tunnel ear, very cool. That's basically mage. It's a lot of downtime. So I definitely do prefer that on the hunter. The hunter, after like level 20, 25, the hunter scales absolutely insanely fast. The mage really does have a lot of downtime associated to it. Not really that big of a fan of the downtime. But in the end game, the mage is one of the best and most easiest classes to play. Let's face it. Spamming Frostbolt is not difficult. Spamming one button is all you do. Oh my god, I am missing 1 experience point. Really, game? I am missing 1 experience point. I'm missing 1 experience point. I am missing 1 experience point. Let's attack. And I think after next level, it's pretty much time to invest into frostbolting. Let's see. If we get a new fireball, we're still gonna use fireball. But once we reach a new level of frostbolt, I think it's time we exclusively go frostbolting. Let's leave. Let's head on home. Let's head on home. So we can have our level up and finish up this episode. And maybe do a little bit of tailoring as well. Because we got a few linen cloth back into the postal office. And then we can have some tailoring. And maybe upgrade a little bit of gear. Because our gear is honestly quite terrible. So let's head on back home. We still can't really use the Hearthstone, can we? We could go to the innkeeper in Ironforge. That would be pretty dope. Going directly to the innkeep. No, let's not do that. Let's return into Thessalamar and set our Hearthstone in Thessalamar so that we can return to here relatively easily. Alright. We also have a few stacks to sell. I know that Silverleaf doesn't really sell, but I believe Peace Bloom does sell. So I believe Peace Bloom is like 12 each. So this would be like 24 silvers. So this would be pretty good. I have no idea what Earthroot is gonna sell for. Maybe it sells for a little bit more because it's a little bit more rare. Let's see. If we manage to make like half a gold, that would be pretty dope. Because that would finance a lot of our skills that we need. Unfortunately, mage needs a lot of skills. So training for mages is pretty expensive. But let's set the Hearthstone first. And let's return to Ironforge. Let's see, what do we have in the mailbox? We have Peace Bloom. Yeah, there we go. It's 11. So let's get the cloth. Now we have quite a bit of cloth available for us. It's 140. That's pretty cool.
What can I get for you today?
I would like something to eat because I'm very, very hungry. Where's the innkeep? There's the innkeep.
Aye.
Let me browse your goods.
Off with you.
There is something really, really cool, and I admit it's cheating, but it's auto-selling green items. So that's really, really nice. We can simply sell the gray items without having to click it, which is really, really nice. So let's see. Spider Ichor. Okay, that everything is fine. Let's keep this. We need the bear meat. 100 muffin is whatever. We need to keep the Ichor as well. Let's keep everything else. This looks good. And let's head home to Ironforge.
The finest wares in the land.
Sure you do. Okay. Let's return to Ironforge. Let's return to the trainer first. I think at level 14 we will get a new Frostbolt. And level 14 would mean we have 4 points in improved Frostbolt, which means 0.4 second reduce. I believe at that point with the... oh, then we have 5 points. Okay, at 5 points, I think it's time that we fully invest into Frostbolting. And I think that's a pretty good point of switching off fire completely and investing into Frostbolting. Let's look at the talent tree, because this is unfortunately not the amazing talent tree of Turtle. This is just a meh talent tree of regular World of Warcraft. Let's see. This is good, 5-5. Can we, is there a talent calculator? Wow, talent calculator classic mage. Is that a thing? Talent calculator. There we go. There we go. Let's get a talent calculator rocking. Let's choose mage, please. Let's make it a little bit bigger. And you guys know it's not Melvor time, it's mage time actually. So we have the improved frostbolt. We want to have critical strike damage for sure. Let's see what else. Damage frost spells, it's a 6 flat damage, that's pretty cool. Resist down is a must-have. Let's see, mana cost and threat down is a must-have. Range of frostbolt is a must-have. Ice block, of course. Let's see, cone of cold is not really a must-have. So let's go into here. This is not bad, but we can't really use that against bosses. Let's see. Reduced slow speed is nice. Chill for freeze is a synergy with this. Cold snap is always nice. Cold snap is always nice. Let's see. Let's improve the Frost Nova because that's a really nice thing to have. We need a Winter's Chill effect. That is definitely a thing. Stacks up to 15,000 one times. That's wrong. Okay, so let's see. Reduces the target's resistances by your spells. That's pretty cool. Let's take the Arcane Subtlety. What else can we get? This is pure fire, pure fire, pure fire. There's nothing really for us. Everything here is fire only. So we want to get into here. Let's do this. Let's increase all resistances. This is really nice, but clear cast is better. Clear cast is better. Armor equal to intellect is no. Critical strike chance, no. This might be nice in a raid, not gonna lie. Let's see, what else can we get? We have required level 55. So this is pretty nice. Continue mana regeneration and counterspell is brutal. So let's counterspell as well. So this would be my final leveling. However, this is primarily for raiding. This doesn't look too bad, however. We'll look at it later. We'll maybe look up a guide of someone playing mage, but I usually don't tend to look at guides. And we've got another mail. So let's see what it is. No idea what it is. So let's keep on going. Let's visit the mage trainer first, and then we do some tailoring, I think. Alrighty. Let's do some marketing as well. Let's get rid of the earth root and the peace blooms. I know Silverleaf does not really produce any money. I think Silverleaf is a lost cause on this server. Let's see. Earthroot. Let's look at it. It is pretty much a lost cause. 20/6, that's not really good. Yeah, 20/6 is not really good. That's the minimum price. Let's see. Yeah, 20/6 is not really a good price. So that is definitely a dead item. We'll just keep it for safekeeping. If we look at Peace Bloom is actually worth a lot of money. What do you know? Peace Bloom is actually worth a little bit of money. Yeah, what do you know? So let's sell our Peace Bloom for, let's say, 59.99. Let's go 59.99. Let's take another stack of Peace Bloom in, 59.99. And these two items will do safekeeping. We still need a bank account. So we still need a bank character to stash everything into. But for now, let's keep all of the Silverleaf and the Earth Root because the market is not really there. But if we could sell this, this would yield a gold. That would be really, really, really nice. Alright, let's keep this. Get this over here. Let's get this over here. This is for quest. This is technically not for quest, so we can sell this. This is for quest. Let's keep this down here. Let's equip our pods. There we go. Let's head over to our mage trainer. Oh yeah, we received the mail. What did we receive? Nothing, no mail. Great. Let's head on over to our trainer. We have 140 linen cloth. This would yield probably roughly skill 60. That would probably it, skill 60. Once we are doing our 70 balls of linen cloths, then you know what time it is. Well, because then we definitely have the downtime. Then we definitely have the downtime. So let's go over here into our mage trainers, which are all gnomes, incidentally. There we go.
Hi, how are ya?
Pretty good. Okay, we conjure food, definitely. Dampen magic is nice to have. We have slow fall, sure, and we have a better fireball rank. So everything that I expected. Let's look into fire. Let's look into frost. 14 is another frostbolt. And I think once we reach level 14, we switch over to frostbolt pure. Fireball still does more damage, but it takes longer to cast. Vastly longer to cast, actually. So yeah, we will definitely be switching to frostbolt in 2 levels. Let's get to our clothier, to our tailor. And I don't even need to click down here anymore, because I can now click into my Titan bar over there and open up my tailoring from there. Haha. And we need to go into, this is leather goods, this is supplies, this is the mining guild, this is the clothier. Let's go into the clothier and go to our journeyman. Let's continue making 70 linen balls. And since we have a little bit of downtime, you know what time it is! It's Malvor time! So let's switch over to Malvor. Let's manage a little bit of our Malvor account. Our ships return in 45 minutes. I'll do that when I have a little bit of downtime, when I'm out of the shower, all the things. We have a little bit of farming to manage. I'm still in the process of planting carrots. I'm halfway there. I need 500,000 of these stupid things. So I'm halfway there. Let's see. The weeds, I have a lot of weeds. I have a lot of weeds, or herbs in that case. I am currently making bananas because everything here is finished. Because I actually finished farming completely. Everything is on 99, which constitutes finishing up a skill. So this skill is finished. Last week I finished astrology. Astrology is completely finished as well. And fire making, one of the more important skills, basically the most important skill, has been finished now as well. I'm currently training up for agility, so I can buff the agility of this. Let's look into herb lore, because I need to have performing enhancing potions, so I can have a little bit of a better agility interval at -8%. So let's make some of these. I have the Crown of Relics online. However, I need to buff my potion making. Where is it? This is one buff of potion making. This is the another buff. 3% more experience is pretty nice. And we have a little bit of bear. So let's get a little bit of bear. Is there a synergy of summons that I can use? Let's look into the bear synergies. The bear synergies. Generous cook charges. No. Herblore interval would be nice, but that requires eagle. We haven't found eagle so far. That is in agility. That is why we didn't. Let's see. Resource preservation cap. For that we need the fox. Fox is super late. Super late. This would be pretty nice though. Ooh, Herblore Mastery per star max in commission. Oh, this would be pretty nice. Let's equip this. Let's equip this. This is pretty nice. Fox! Yes, Fox. You can find a Fox in summoning. The Fox, however, is really late. I think the Fox is probably one of these two. It's one of the last unlocks you can find. I think it's one of these two. I do need a little bit of... Let's see, I do need a little bit of bear. So I think I much rather produce bear for now, because that gives me the opportunity to have more Herblore experience. Because Herblore Mastery is terribly difficult to come by, and I think if I boost with bear, that would be pretty nice. Let's check up on our character, and our character is done. So let's continue with the character.
How are ya?
We have 45 already, which is nice. Let's train all of this. Alright, we can make the first linen bag, but this doesn't sell really well. What sells oddly well is usually shirts. Shirts oddly sell really well. Let's check up on a few shirts, because they usually sell like hotcakes. So let's look at shirts really quickly. Because let's make a little bit of money. Yeah, you know, let's make a little bit of money. And my mouse needs charging. My mouse needs charging. So let's charge the mouse. I don't want my mouse to die. There we go. Shirts usually sell like hotcakes. Let's see. If these sell for like 10 silvers, we're winning. If these sell for like 10 silvers. Shirts usually don't sell that well. We'll see. We'll see about that. Let's look into red linen shirt. It's not really worth anything. Let's go into blue linen shirt. This sells a little bit more, so we'll do a few blue linen shirts. Simple dresses. Simple dresses also sells for a little bit. And this does not sell. The white linen shirt usually sells for higher. So we'll do 5 of each of these types. We'll do 5 of each of these types. And let's look into the white linen robe. And this is 15. This is also pretty good. This is also pretty good. And the brown linen robe should not sell as well usually. It does though. Okay, so we can make a few items to get into the auction house to maybe make a little bit of money. Okay. That's good to know. That's really good to know. So let's try to make 5 of each and 6 of the white linen robe so we can wear one ourselves. Yeah, that's a good idea. So let's get back into the clothier, Stonebrow's clothier. Okay, people are selling chocolate boxes. There is our clothier, so let's look into here. Okay, we need white shirts, so let's make 5 bleaches. And 5 coarse threads. Let's make 5 of these. For this we need 5 bleaches. And 5 blue dyes. And 5 coarse threads. Alright. This is not the most efficient we're doing right now. We're making green items, but it is what it is. Let's make 5 simple dresses. If these shirts don't sell, we haven't lost anything really. It's the cost of crafting thing. The blue shirt needs blue dye. 5 blue dye. 5 coarse threads. So let's craft 5 of these. Pretty good. We're getting somewhere. The white linen robe, of course, takes 5 bleaches. No, let's make 6 bleaches. 6 coarse threads, because we want to make one ourselves. So let's get these done. And then check our trainer, if we can get a few more trainings done. Maybe we can make something better. Maybe we can make something better. We're on 60, so I predicted 60. It's not too bad. We still have a few linen over, which is nice. We still want to make some brown linen robes to maybe get those into the market as well. If we sell them for like 10 silvers, we're good.
What's on your mind?
Let's get into here. These don't have any stats, and these don't have any stats either. Let's become a journeyman. Let's become a journeyman. So let's get our brown linen robe. Do we have we already equipped one? We do not have equipped one. Let's equip one. There we go.
What's on your mind?
What's on your mind?
Okay, let's sell this and this. This can be thrown away. Let's look into tailoring again. We need brown linen robes, so this is just 5 coarse threads. So let's make 5 of these. Now the bags do not sell. I know this because I looked up bags. These do not sell. So crafting these is a waste of material. Alright, we have 65. Every 5 levels of a crafting skill, you possibly get new craftings.
How are ya?
So there we have boots. But boots usually need leather, and we don't have any leather. So let's see.
How are you?
We did sell a few leathers, so let's get these leathers back in. Because it is a skill point that is guaranteed. Let's make another linen robe. Let's make another linen robe and hope for a skill point. If we get a skill point, we're good. And we did get one. Which means we can now make 3 linen boots and end at 70 tailoring. We end at 70 tailoring. We have a few items to get into the auction house. And hopefully we can make a few silvers off it. Hopefully we can make a few silvers off it. Alright, the boots will be sold. This has a little bit more armor, so let's take one of these boots. And everything else gets into the auction house to hopefully recoup a little bit of the cost. Alright, we can now make a barbaric linen vest. And we can have hand-stitched breeches. This is a good pants. And let's look in the barbaric linen chest. This is pretty good as well. Spirit is not too bad to get some regeneration going. I do like myself the owl. I believe it's owl, which is stamina intelligence for mages. But that means our regeneration sucks. We technically have conjured mana. We technically have conjured water that we can use, technically. But I really like having a little bit of spirit is nice. Alright, let's try to put these into the market and try to get a little bit of money back. So let's look into the blue shirt. The blue shirt sells for 20. I don't like this. Selling for 20 is a little bit high. Let's go 11.99. Let's go 11.99 and see if we can at least sell like 3 of those. If we sell like 2. If we sell 2 of them, we're already in profit. So if we sell 2 of them, we're already in profit. Let's get the white shirts into the market as well. Let's get the white shirts into the market as well. For 11.99, of course. If we sell 2 of those, we have profit as well. If we sell all 5, we're golden, which is nice. But let's get these in. Let's get the simple dress. Simple dress is the same thing. We're just gonna do 11.99 because I think 20 for a shirt is way too much, and we're looking for some cheap money right now. That's our main goal, having some cheap money. All right. This is nice, this is nice, this is nice. Let's get the linen robes into circulation. The linen robes start at 15. So you know what price we're gonna do. We're gonna do the price of $9.99. Let's do the price of $9.99 because we want to get these into circulation, and these will often be bought because of enchantment reasons or disenchanting. So if they buy that, great, I'm getting cheap money. And I will use that cheap money to get more material to do more craftings. Now let's do the brown linen robe. The brown linen robe is spirit. Arguably better than intelligence in the low levels. So let's have this for $9.99 as well. Let's have this for $9.99 as well. And let's see if we can recoup a little bit of money. If we make, I don't know, if we make like 30 silvers out of this whole thing, we are in profit. Anything above 30 silvers, it's pretty good. Anything above 30 silvers is pretty good. But I think we're pretty much there for this episode, and we're gonna finish the episode for now. We have 70 tailoring, we have 80 herb law. Herb law. Well, yeah, herb law. We have a few chests, a few bags, we have 60 silvers, which is pretty cool. We have reached level 12, which is more than I thought I would on the very first day. So, thank you very much for watching this episode 1 of World of Warcraft Classic Anniversary. This is basically a huge preparation of getting into the Burning Crusade this winter, early spring, for my Enhancement Shaman Chidorí, which already has the name saved. So yeah, the name is already saved, exactly with the right spelling. Really nice. So if you look this up on YouTube, hey, thanks very much for watching. If you're here live on Twitch, well, that's amazing too. Become a Pokemon, come into the chat, have a good time, relax, get some snacks, and wash your hands, you filthy gamers. Until the next time, thank you very much for watching. Bye bye, you know where to find me.